My name is Andrew Stotz of the Global Equity Valuation Competition. It's a chance for anybody in the world to test their skills in valuation and presenting their research. The next contestant competing is, let's see, hold on, I'm going to bring him up, Chanon, and he's going to be presenting Tencent music, which is going to be an interesting one. Let me bring him in. Chanon, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. Yep.
You hopefully, as I said earlier, just relax and share what you've been working on. It's not easy to get to this point, so congratulations. I'm going to bring up your presentation here in 1 second,
Yep, thank you.
and I think we are ready. I think we're ready. So I'm going to take you. I'm going to take myself out of this presentation, and then you can start. So, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to remove myself now, so you can start now.
All right. Hi, I have initiated a coverage on a music streaming platform in China, Tencent Music, with the recommendation of buy at the market price of 87.6 Hong Kong dollar, representing a potential upside of 150%. The key drivers for this valuation are three things. One is the quantity driver. So I believe the market is still underpenetrated in terms of paid subscribers. And number two, the potential price could be increased in the future given the low current ARPU charged to the consumer by Tencent Music. That is the price drivers. And lastly, is Tencent Music healthy balance sheet with the positive net cash flow to defend its market share and potentially grabs any upcoming opportunities. I would call that the cherry on the top. So before I move to talk about the drivers in detail, let me give you a quick background on what Tencent Music does. So Tencent Music is a music streaming platform in China. Think about how outside of China has Spotify. Tencent Music is the same as a Spotify in China. They currently have about 528 monthly active users and about 127 million paid subscribers. There's three key applications, takes about 60% of the market share, and are among the top five applications in China. The users, Tencent Music operates on a freemium business model, which means as an audience, you can choose to listen for free and listen to commercial ads, or you can choose to pay subscription, remove the ad, and get better services. Now that we understand how Tencent Music business work, let's move on to the first key drivers, which is the quantity drivers. So as I said, currently Tencent Music has about 128 million paid subscribers, and this number has been growing consistently over the past 3-4 years at about 13.7% CAGR. So I want to know that there's still a room for growth in this paid subscribers number. So I take that number divided by the total number of monthly active users, which is 530 million. You get 24.1%. So that is on the chart on the right hand side. This means that out of all accounts with Tencent Music, 24.1% are paid subscribers, and it's been growing over the years. Now compare that to peers or similar players across the world like Apple Music or Spotify. Apple Music numbers stand at 77%, while Spotify, which is a more similar comparable peers, stand at 39%. So this suggests that there's still room um, for Tencent Music to convert its free users into paid subscribers. Now, this shift in the management strategy to grow paid subscribers are very crucial for a number of reasons. So for example, paid subscribers generate more consistent revenue for the company. They actually generate more value for the company than free users. And also um the, 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 the revenue stream and the cash flow stream are more consistent as as they grow. They are actually more sticky as well. So it's relatively easier to retain them rather than free users. Driver number two. So this is the ARPU, the price. So basically, in the subscription business, there's an average revenue per user, or the ARPU. Tencent Music ARPU stands at 11.9 Chinese yuan in 2025. That translates to about 1.74 US dollar, which I put that on the bottom right-hand side chart. Compare this with the peers like Spotify and Apple Music starting plans. So the starting plan per month varies by countries, but for this comparison, I make sure I included more comparable countries like South Korea and Thailand, who are also developing countries. And Spotify's and Apple Music numbers stands at around 4.6 US dollar a month for Spotify. Apple Music stand at $4.3 a month for Apple Music. And this is their starting plan, not ARPU. So the ARPU could even be higher. Compare this with Tencent Music at 1.7. It gives me comfort that over the years, Tencent Music charging price could be higher. Basically, the Chinese consumer could spend more on this. And on the third drivers that I said cherry on the top would be Tencent Music has a very healthy balance sheet with net cash. So Tencent Music generate about 1.5 billion US dollar a year in cash after deducting dividends and share buyback. It accumulated cash over the years, and with little interest-bearing debt, their net cash position is about 5 billion as of 2025. That makes up about 1/3 of the total assets. So I understand that having too much cash is not always a good sign, but in this type of rapidly changing tech company, having a lot of cash actually allow you to capture upcoming opportunities, as well as also defend against potential price war from new competitors or existing competitors.
Okay.
Thank you.
Excellent. So let's look at this. This is fascinating. Now, one of the questions I have is, are you showing the increase in Tencent's share of paid subscribers?
Yep.
And my question is, has that been driving super strong revenue growth, or what has revenue growth been over those years, roughly?
Right. So the revenue growth has been about, actually, it's next slide. Should I move to the next slide?
Yeah, you can show that.
Right, sure. So yeah, I was about to say that. Thank you for the question. In the past 4 years, from 2020 to 2025, the revenue for Tencent Music has been growing at about 5% CAGR. So 28 billion yuan to 32.9 billion yuan. The shift in focus starting on,
Yeah, just because it's Q&A, so I want to make sure that we're focused on the question. So on this question, if I look at those numbers that you're showing right now, it's not bad.
Yep.
But when I looked at the rise in the paid subscribers, it was really exciting. Is there a reason why further increases in paid subscribers won't directly feed to the revenues?
So you're saying, sorry, let me get the question right.
Yeah,
so you're
so
saying
what I'm
that
trying to say is that what should we expect for revenue growth over the next, I don't know, three to 5 years on average?
Okay, so in my model, I have split the growth into price and quantity. So in paid subscribers, it's actually growing at about 7%, which is more or less in line with historical. And for the price, I in my assumption, it was about 5% per year increase, which is also in line with the historical. And I make sure that that is achievable based on the under penetration that we discussed just now. I want to answer your question earlier about why the revenue doesn't grow as fast as the number of paid subscribers. Is that the question?
Yeah.
Right. So actually, there are two businesses that they're holding. So one is music streaming, which the number of users grow at about 13%. But the other business is actually social karaoke type of application, which the company tried to put less focus on, and that number has been declining, which I haven't been showing. So
Okay,
the revenue grows slower because of the mix of the two. Yeah.
So it's not necessarily a perfect pure play on that. And let's go back to the slide before.
Yep, sure.
Is it possible that the Chinese market or the Chinese consumer just that they'll never really pay this up to Apple Music level and maybe to Spotify level, but like, is there a point where you're like, well, that's probably not going to go up that much more?
Yes, that's a good question. So basically, if you look at the market right now, in China itself, there are three main competitors. So one is Tencent Music, two is Apple Music, three is NetEase Cloud Music. They all their plans are about the same price. So their starting price is about 10 to 15 yuan. So the low number in China now is driven by industry competition in the country itself. But I'm just saying that in terms of comparing to outside of China, the consumer could pay more if the competition is out. That's what I'm trying to say. Yep.
Okay, and then can you go back to your first page?
Sure. Yep.
What are the multiples that it's trading on right now?
So currently it's about 10 times. Currently it's about 10 times. With my DCF valuation, it gives about an implied valuation of 24 times compared to
Okay.
Spotify of 40 times. Yeah.
And what is the level of, let's say, ROE or ROIC or some other measure like that? I see EBIT margins 36 to 40, which is very strong.
I don't have that on top of my head right now,
Okay.
but I do have that in the bottom.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Yep.
Okay, excellent. Good. Well, hold on one second. So how does it feel to complete this final round in this competition?
I think it's exciting. It's the time limit is definitely putting a lot of pressure. Am I on stage or?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so yeah, it's actually fun to actually drill down into the company, try to think of how to present and squeeze the message into. The second round was 8 minutes, right? Now it's 6 minutes. It's even more tight. But yeah, it's challenging but fun.
And why did you pick this company?
I picked this company because I've been looking at it for like a few months now, and I feel like all the stories are aligned and perfect for presentation. So they have the quantity driver, the price drivers. I feel like I can defend it.
Yeah. Yep. Excellent. Well, you did a great job. And now it's time to relax a little bit, and I'll see you in the Slack channel.
Thank you.
All right. Another excellent presentation. This from Chanon. He presented Tencent Music, an interesting idea going on with that company. This is the Global Equity Valuation Competition, Season 2, sponsored by Valuation Masterclass and Koifin. Students are using the Koifin tool to do their valuations and the like. My name is Andrew.